Good afternoon, guys. మ్యూట్ అవ్వాలండి, ఎవరో డిస్టర్బెన్స్ వస్తుంది. NIST 519 మ్యూట్ అవ్వాలండి. గుడ్ ఆఫ్టర్నూన్ గైస్. స్క్రీన్ ఓకే కదండి?
Okay,
Is
sir.
it okay, Dasmi? Okay, see, in the morning we have briefly seen the services to the network layer. Now, after that services to the network layer, we have to briefly see one more important concept, that is called the framing. As we discussed in the morning class, after receiving data packets from the network layer, the data link layer will change the data packets into frames by adding some header and tailor. It will make the packets into frames. Here, what is the reason why it is forming the frames, how it is forming the frames, that we have to know briefly. In this class, we have to briefly know about that one. What is this framing concept? What are the various ways of forming those frames? How it is forming the frames? What are the various techniques available for forming the frames? Clear? See, when we come to this one, to provide services to the network layer, the data link layer will use the services provided by the physical layer. Okay, the main responsibility of data link layer, it has to provide services to the network layer. To provide services to that network layer, this data link layer will take the services given by the physical layer. With the help of the services given by the physical layer, this data link layer will try to provide services to the network layer. Generally, what will happen in the physical layer is, what are the services given by the physical layer? The physical layer will transmit the data in the form of raw bits. Okay, from source machine to destination machine, through some transmission media, it will transfer the data of the source machine to the destination machine in the form of bits. Bit stream only, it will transfer the data. Clear? Whenever the transmission media or the transmission channel has noise, okay, whenever there is a noise interference in the channel, there is a chance of missing data. Okay, due to some noise in the transmission media or the transmission channel, there is a chance of missing of data. There is a chance to occur errors in the data whenever the physical layer is transmitting the raw bits from source machine to destination machine through some channel. Due to the noise interference, there is a chance of missing of the data. That means there is a chance to get the errors in the data. To reduce the chance of getting errors in the data, missing of data in the transmission media, what is the physical layer will do is, okay, as we already discussed it, for the digital signal, it will add some analog signal to support the digital signal. It will add an extra signal called a carrier wave. It will add a carrier wave and it will convert the digital signal into analog signal. That analog signal will transmit through the medium to the destination. What is the purpose of adding that carrier wave, which is an analog signal, is to strengthen the digital signal. Okay, otherwise, due to noise interfaces, the digital bits may be missed. There is a chance of getting errors in the digital data. That's why to support the digital data, it is adding some extra signal called the analog carrier wave. Analog carrier wave. The main purpose of the carrier wave is to support that one. This is all we have already seen in the physical layer. Clear? Okay. If the channel is noisy, the physical layer will add some redundancy to its signals to reduce the bit error rate. The physical layer will add some redundancy, means it will add some other extra additional signal to the original data signal. It will add the additional signal that is called the carrier wave. Already we discussed that one. To reduce the bit error rate, it will add some redundant signals to that one. Okay, that is the generally what is the physical layer will do to reduce the chances of getting errors in the data due to the noise interference. The physical layer will add the additional signals, redundant signals will be added to reduce that one. However, even though the physical layer has done that work, even though there is, okay, it is not guaranteed that data link layer is error free. Even though the physical layer is doing something, we can't guarantee that there is no error, there is no chance of getting errors. The data link layer cannot guarantee that there is no errors in the data. That's the thing. Even though physical layer is trying to do something to reduce the effect of noise interference, still there is no guarantee about the error-free data. Okay, some bits may have different values and number. Some bits may have different values, and the number of bits received may be less than or equal to or more than the number of bits transmitted. Okay, even though the physical layer has done something by adding the carrier wave, it is strengthening the digital signal. Still, there is no guarantee that the data is error-free. There is a chance of some bits may be altered. That means in place of 0, there may be a chance of getting 1. In place of 1, there is a chance of getting 0. Some bits may be altered. Okay, total number of bits received may be less than or equal to or greater than the actual number of bits transmitted. Some additional bits may be received, some required bits may be missed. Okay, or same number of bits may come, but the bits are altered. Wrong now. Okay, wrong bits may be received like that. There is no guarantee, even though physical layer is doing something by adding the carrier wave also, there is no guarantee that data is error free. That's why again the data link layer has to do something to detect the errors and to correct the errors. It has to do some additional work. Okay, even the physical layer is trying to reduce the effect of noise interface, there is no guarantee. That's why the digital the data link layer has to do some additional work for detection and correction of any errors. If there is chance of any getting errors, it has to detect the errors and it has to do something to detect the errors and to correct the errors. So the usual approach followed by the data link layer for detection of errors and correction of errors is, first it will whatever the data packets received from the network layer, it will break the data packets into frames. It will form frames. Okay, after receiving the data from the network layer, it will try to form the frames. Okay, here at the time of forming of the frame, it will calculate a value called for each frame. It will add a checksum. It will calculate and add a one thing called checksum to each frame. Clear? After the data packet is received from the network layer, okay, further data packet, what it will do is it will calculate some checksum, and that checksum will be added to the frame, to that data packet to form a frame. By calculating the checksum, that checksum will be added to the packet to form it as a frame. The main purpose of the checksum is to detect and correct errors. It will use that checksum. When a frame arrives at the destination, again the checksum is recomputed. If the newly computed checksum is different from the one already contained in the frame, the data link layer knows that an error has occurred and it will take steps to deal with it. See this one. So what is the data link layer will do is whenever data packets are received from the network layer, it will calculate some checksum, and that calculated checksum will be added to the data packet to make it as a frame. Clear? After a frame is formed, that frame will be sent to the destination. At the destination side, what will happen is, again for the frame received, it will recalculate the checksum. The newly calculated checksum will be compared with already attached checksum. If both are matching, okay, there is no errors in the data. If they are not matching, means there are some errors in the data. The data is corrupted. So it has to do something to rectify the errors. To correct the errors, it has to do something. That is the thing. Clear and ఇది ఇక్కడ దాకా guys, is it clear? Hello? Guys, is it clear? Are you there?
Clear, sir.
So that is the thing. What when we come to the how it is forming the adding the checksum, how it is adding that, that is the checksum it is adding. How it is adding means when we want to know the how from the bit stream how they are forming the frames, means there are generally 4 methods of breaking up the bit stream into frames. Okay, after receiving the bit stream from the network layer, there are 4 methods are there for breaking the bit streams into the frames. 4 regular methods are there. Some 4 regular methods are available. One of those 4 methods are generally used for the formation of frames. After the bit stream is received from the upper layers, to break that bit streams into the frames, some generally 4 methods are available here. See the 4 methods. Byte count. So the first one is the byte count. The next one is the flag bytes with byte stuffing. This is also known as character stuffing. Byte stuffing can also be known as the character stuffing. Third one is the bit stuffing. It is similar to the byte stuffing with just little bit difference. The last one is the physical layer coding violations. The last one is the physical layer coding violations. So these are the 4 methods for breaking up the bit stream into the frames. To break up the bit stream into the frames, these are 4 methods: byte count method, byte stuffing or character stuffing, bit stuffing, next physical layer coding violations. First, briefly, what is this byte count is? First, we will briefly see for the formation of frames, what is this byte count technique is nothing but, it is also known as the character count. This byte count or character count is nothing but, okay, beginning of every frame, the first character or the first byte in the frame indicates the count of number of characters in that frame. Okay, while we are forming a frame, the first thing of character in the frame will indicate the number of characters in that frame or number of bits in that frame. That's why it is called byte count. The byte count method is nothing but while we are forming a frame, the first byte in every frame will indicate totally how many bytes are there in that frame. Totally how many characters or how many bytes are there in that frame. That is indicated by the first byte. Clear? Whenever we have a bit stream, while we are dividing the bit stream into the bytes into the frame, okay, we will divide the bit stream into the frame. While we are forming the frame from the bit stream, every frame, the first byte of every frame indicates the totally how many bytes will be there in that frame. That is the byte count method. We will see one example. Clear? Byte count method or character count method, it will indicate the first one byte will indicate the how many characters are there in that frame or how many bytes will be there in that frame. That is indicated by the method byte count method. Next, the alternative to this one is the byte stuffing or character stuffing. What is this byte stuffing or character stuffing is, while breaking the bit stream into the frames, okay, here we will use some extra characters or extra bytes as to indicate the beginning and ending of the frame. We use some special characters to indicate the beginning of the frame and ending of the frame. We will use some special character to indicate beginning of the frame and ending of the every frame. We will insert some extra bytes or some extra characters to indicate. That's why it is called byte stuffing. Generally, meaning of stuffing means inserting. What is the general meaning of the stuffing means? Inserting. We are inserting some additional bytes or some additional characters to indicate beginning and ending of the frame. Before beginning of the frame, we will add some extra characters. After the frame, at the end of the frame, we will insert some extra characters. To easily identify beginning of the frame and ending of the frame, we will insert some additional characters or additional bytes. That's why this concept is called byte stuffing or the character stuffing. Clear? But for example, it will be like this. After we have received the byte stream, bit stream, we will break the bit stream into the frames. Before and beginning and ending of the frame, for every frame, I will add some extra characters. For example, I will use my name as a delimiter to each frame. As a delimiters, I will use my name. That means before every frame, I will place some extra characters as Murali, and end of the frame, I will attach Murali. Okay, for every frame, we will attach the beginning and ending, we will use the word Murali as a delimiter. See, actually that Murali word is not actual part of the bit stream. We are adding that bit stream. That's why it is called byte stuffing or character stuffing. Some extra characters or extra bytes will be added to indicate the beginning and ending of each frame. That concept is called byte stuffing or character stuffing. Next one is alternative to that one is the bit stuffing. It is also similar to byte stuffing. Byte stuffing or character stuffing means some extra characters will be added to indicate beginning and ending of the frame. Instead of the characters, if you use the bits only, zeros and one bits only, if you use the binary bits to indicate the beginning and ending of the frame, it is called bit stuffing. In the byte stuffing, extra characters will be added to indicate beginning and ending of the frame. In the bit stuffing, extra bits will be added to indicate the beginning and ending of the frame. That is called the bit stuffing. These are the three major techniques: byte count method, byte stuffing or character stuffing, next bit stuffing. The fourth one is the physical layer coding violations. It is a simple one, violating the physical layer coding techniques. That we will see later. What is that? How we can violate the physical layer coding rules? That we will see later. So first we will see what is this concept of byte count. See this one byte count method. The byte count method uses a field in the header to specify a number of bytes in the frame. In the header part of the frame, it will add, okay, it will use the header field of the frame to indicate number of bytes in that frame. When data link layer at the destination sees the byte count, it knows how many bytes follows and hence where the end of the frame is. Okay, here what will happen is at the sender side, while formation of the frames, okay, the header part will contain the information of how many bytes are there in that one. The header part will contain the information that how many bits, how many characters are there in that one, or how many bytes are there in that frame. The header part will contain the information about the byte count. That means in that frame, if you are placing 3 bytes in that frame, the header part will contain the information, okay, count. The header part will contain that count. Okay, totally the header part will contain information 4. That means including the header, we are sending 4 bytes. Header is 1 byte, remaining 3 bytes, totally 4 bytes. The header part will contain the information, how many bytes or how many characters we are sending in that frame. At the receiver side, after receiving that frame, first it will open the header. Basing on the value in that header, it will decide, it will identify how many bytes are there in that frame. Clear? ఇక్కడ కాన్సెప్ట్ అర్థమైందండి. వాట్ ఈస్ దిస్ బైట్ కౌంట్ 1? ఇక్కడ బైట్ కౌంట్ మెథడ్ ఏం జరుగుతుందంటే, ఇఫ్ ద ఫ్రేమ్ కంటైన్స్ 3 క్యారెక్టర్స్, మనం ఫ్రేమ్ లో 3 క్యారెక్టర్స్ పంపించాలనుకున్నాం అనుకోండి. ఓకే, వీఆర్ ఫార్మింగ్ ఏ ఫ్రేమ్ విత్ 3 క్యారెక్టర్స్. ఇచ్చిన డేటాలో 3 క్యారెక్టర్స్ ఒక ఫ్రేమ్ కింద డివైడ్ చేసుకునేటప్పుడు, ఆఫ్టర్ 3 క్యారెక్టర్స్ సపరేటెడ్ యాజ్ ఎ ఫ్రేమ్, ఇన్ ద హెడర్ పార్ట్ వీ విల్ యాడ్ ద ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ how many characters we are included in that frame. ఆ ఫ్రేమ్ లో ఎన్ని క్యారెక్టర్స్ ప్లేస్ చేస్తున్నాం అనేది that information will be stuffed into the header part. Header part లో యాడ్ చేసుకుంటాము. The header of that frame contains the count of how many bytes are there in that frame or how many characters are there in that frame. At the destination side, by seeing that header count value in that header part, it will understand totally how many bytes are received in this frame. Clear? For example, if at the destination side, the header contains the value 3, that means 3 bytes are there in that frame or 3 characters are there in that frame. Okay, it will understand that this frame contains 3 characters or 3 bytes. Okay, if the number of characters are matching, no problem at all. If the number of characters are not matching, means it will identify that some error has occurred. See, the trouble with this algorithm is the count may be grabbed by the transmission error. ఇక్కడ ఏం జరుగుతుందంటే, ఆ హెడర్ లో ఉన్న వాల్యూ ఏం చేస్తుంది, ఇట్ విల్ ఇండికేట్ ద హౌ మెనీ బైట్స్ వీఆర్ సెండింగ్ ఆర్ హౌ మెనీ క్యారెక్టర్స్ వీఆర్ సెండింగ్ ఇన్ ద ఫ్రేమ్. డెస్టినేషన్ సైడ్ ముందు ఆ కౌంట్ బేస్ చేసుకుని ఇట్ విల్ క్యాలిక్యులేట్ ఎన్ని క్యారెక్టర్స్ వచ్చాయో చూసుకుంటుంది. కౌంట్ కి క్యారెక్టర్స్ కి మ్యాచ్ అయితే ఇట్ విల్ బి హ్యాపీ, అదర్వైజ్ ఇట్ విల్ డిసైడ్ దట్ సమ్ ఎర్రర్ హ్యాస్ అక్కర్డ్. అయితే ఇక్కడ చిన్న బైట్ కౌంట్ మెథడ్ ఉన్న ప్రాబ్లం అంటే, డేటా ట్రాన్స్మిషన్ అప్పుడు ఆ హెడర్ మోడిఫై అవ్వచ్చు. there is a chance that the header has modified. Header modify అనుకుంటుంది, the count value is grabbed due to some transmission error. The count value has changed. Actually మనం count 3 ఉంది, 3 characters పంపించాము, but due to some transmission error the count value is modified to 4. That means the destination machine will understand that it has to receive 4 characters. It understands that I have received 4 characters, I have received only 3 characters. But the actual thing is the sender has sent only 3 characters, receiver has received the 3 characters, but due to some transmission error the count value is modified. That is the problem with this one. Clear? Automatically what will happen is, whenever the count value is modified, it will affect the remaining frames. Whenever the count value is modified, it will affect the remaining frames. How it will affect means we will see the example to understand how it will affect. Okay, at the end of the frame it will contain the at that end of the frame it will contain the checksum. As at the trailer part it will contain the checksum also will be there. Okay, there is a checksum will be added to the end of each frame. We have a trail part, at the trail end it will a checksum will be added. With the help of checksum also we can calculate whether there are any errors in the data or not. Okay, using the header information or using the trailer information, in this technique we can identify is there any errors in the data or not. See the example first to get clarity on this one. See this one. See in this is the in this stream of data we have 4 frames. We have formed 4 frames. Okay, this is the total stream of data. In that data we have 4 frames we have formed: frame 1, frame 2, frame 3, frame 4. If we see the frame 1, what is the starting value of the frame 1? 5. That starting value 5 indicates byte count. Totally it is sending 5 bytes or 5 characters. The first 5 in the beginning of the frame 1 is 5, which indicates that totally it is sending 5 bytes or 5 characters as first frame. So it will count from 5, it will count 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Total up to 4 it will take considered as frame 1. After that one, again we have 5 is there. That means second frame also contains 5 bytes or 5 characters. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 will be considered as second frame. After that 9, what is the beginning of the third frame? That third frame beginning is 8. That means totally 8 bytes or 8 characters are there in the frame 3. So it will take that one 8, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Next for frame 4 also the beginning is 8. That means totally 8 characters are sent here. Clear? That is a concept here. What is happening? See, that is the thing. If you see the first one without errors, if there is the a byte count will be maintained like this. The byte count will be maintained here like this. If there is an error, see the second one. If there is an error,
అంటే అంటే అమ్మ అప్పటికల్లా మేము కూడా వేసుకుంటాం కదా అప్పుడు ఉంబలంగా ఉంటుంది లేత పట్టి నీటి పట్టి ఒకసారి వచ్చింది కలిసి అప్పుడు కాదమ్మా అంటున్నాను నేతి మాట అంటున్నాను రాకపోతే ఎట్లా అండి పచ్చికి రాబోతుంది పచ్చి తీసాను రాకపోతే నవ్వుతుంది
సో ఇప్పుడు మనం సెకండ్ చూసాం అనుకోండి దాంట్లోనే అదే సేమ్ బిట్ ప్యాటర్న్ తీసుకున్నాము సెకండ్ టైం చూసాం అనుకోండి ఫస్ట్ ఫ్రేమ్ 1 లో 5 ఉంది సో ఫ్రేమ్ 1 కరెక్ట్ గానే ఉంది ఫ్రేమ్ 2 లో యాక్చువల్ గా బిగినింగ్ ఏముండాలి 5 ఉండాలి బట్ బై మిస్టేక్ ఆ 5 కాస్త 7 గా మారిపోయింది అనుకోండి నౌ వాట్ విల్ హ్యాపెన్ యాక్చువల్ గా ఫ్రేమ్ 2 బిగినింగ్ లో 5 ఉండాలి కానీ అది 7 గా మాడిఫై అయిపోయింది అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది 7 6 7 8 9 8 0 అప్ టు 0 ఇట్ విల్ కన్సిడర్ యాజ్ ఫ్రేమ్ 2 ఆటోమేటిక్ గా ఫ్రేమ్ 3 కి వచ్చేటప్పటికి ఫస్ట్ క్యారెక్టర్ ఎంత ఉంటుంది 1 ఉంటుంది విచ్ ఇండికేట్స్ దట్ ఓన్లీ 1 బైట్ ఈస్ దేర్ ఇన్ ద ఫ్రేమ్ 3 విచ్ ఈస్ ఎ రాంగ్ వన్ యాక్చువల్ మన ఒరిజినల్ డేటాలో ఫ్రేమ్ 3 లో 8 బైట్స్ ఉన్నాయి ఫ్రేమ్ 4 లో 8 బైట్స్ ఉన్నాయి కానీ ఇప్పుడు సెకండ్ ఫ్రేమ్ లో ఉన్నటువంటి బైట్ కౌంట్ మోడిఫై అవడం వల్ల ఏమవుతుంది ఇట్ ఈస్ ఎఫెక్టింగ్ ద థర్డ్ బైట్ ఆల్సో థర్డ్ ఫ్రేమ్ ఓకే ద బైట్ కౌంట్ ఆఫ్ ద థర్డ్ ఫ్రేమ్ ఈస్ ఎఫెక్టెడ్ ఆటోమేటిక్గా ద థర్డ్ ఫ్రేమ్ అండ్ ద ఫోర్త్ ఫ్రేమ్స్ ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు బి affected. That is the problem with this byte count. ఒక ఐడియా కొంచెం ఏమైనా అర్థమైందండి బైట్ కౌంట్ కన్ఫ్యూజన్ ఏమైనా ఉందే గైస్ హలో హలో ఓకే అండి దీని మళ్ళీ ఓకే నెక్స్ట్ వెన్ వీ కమ్ టు ద సెకండ్ వన్ బైట్ స్టఫింగ్ క్యారెక్టర్ స్టఫింగ్ ఈ బైట్ స్టఫింగ్ క్యారెక్టర్ స్టఫింగ్ ఎలా ఉంటుందంటే టు ఇండికేట్ ద బిగినింగ్ అండ్ ఎండింగ్ ఆఫ్ ద ఫ్రేమ్ బైట్ కౌంట్ యూస్ చేయాలి అంటే బిగినింగ్ లో బైట్ కౌంట్ యూస్ చేద్దాము అంటే ప్రాబ్లం ఏంటంటే ఆ బైట్ కౌంట్ కనుక మోడిఫై అయితే రిమైనింగ్ ఫ్రేమ్స్ అన్ని ఎఫెక్ట్ అవుతుంది కాబట్టి టు రిజాల్వ్ దట్ వన్ ఇన్స్టెడ్ ఆఫ్ యూజింగ్ ద బైట్ కౌంట్ వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు యాడ్ సమ్ ఎక్స్ట్రా క్యారెక్టర్స్ యాజ్ బిగినింగ్ and ending of the frame as the delimiters for the frame. We are going to add some extra characters. Some extra characters will be added. నా ఎగ్జాంపుల్ అయితే నేను ఫ్లాగ్ అనే ఒక క్యారెక్టర్స్ యూజ్ చేశాను. ఐ హావ్ యూజ్డ్ ద వర్డ్ ఫ్లాగ్ యాజ్ ఏ డీలిమిటర్. మనం ఏదైనా ఏ నేమ్ అయినా వాడుకోవచ్చు. వీ కెన్ యూజ్ ఎనీ క్యారెక్టర్స్ యాజ్ బిగినింగ్ అండ్ ఎండింగ్ ఆఫ్ ద ఫ్రేమ్. నేను ఈ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ అయితే నేను ఫ్లాగ్ వాడాను. ఓకే, సో ద సెకండ్ ఫ్రేమింగ్ మెథడ్ is to solve the problem of the first one. Okay, is to solve the problem of resynchronization after an error by having each frame starts and ending with specific bytes. Because of the synchronization problem in the byte count method, due to any transmission error, to resolve that problem of synchronization of the frames due to transmission error, what we are doing is some extra bytes or characters are going to be added at the beginning and ending of the each frame. At the beginning and ending of each frame, we are going to add some extra bytes, extra characters or bytes. Okay. Generally, we will use the same byte at the beginning and ending. We can use either different characters at the beginning and ending, or we can use the same characters, but generally most of the people will use the same characters for both, indicating both beginning and ending. If we want, we can use the different characters to indicate the beginning and to indicate the ending, but most of the people generally use the same byte to indicate the starting and ending of the frame. Okay, in this example I have used flag, the word flag as a delimiter. I have used the word flag. Okay, please first see the example. To understand the remaining points, first we will see the example. ఈ పాయింట్స్ అన్ని మళ్ళీ మనం చూద్దామండి, ఒకసారి ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చూద్దాం. సే దిస్ వన్. ఇక్కడ సెకండ్ వన్ ఇలా ఉంటుందండి. After a frame is formed, after with a header and tailor, after a frame is formed, for that frame we will add a beginning and ending to indicate the starting of the frame. I am attaching one extra characters called flag. Beginning of the starting of the frame, at the ending of the frame, I am using this one. Okay, see, we are using that flag at the beginning and ending. Okay, original data is అనుకోండి. Okay, that is the thing what we will do. Okay, flag at the beginning and ending of the data we will use the flag. ఈ ఫ్లాగ్ యూజ్ చేసాం అనుకోండి, మన డేటాలో ఫ్లాగ్ ఎక్కడ వచ్చినా సరే, ఓకే, ఫస్ట్ ఫ్లాగ్ నేను చేస్తాను, we will consider it as starting of a frame. సెకండ్ వచ్చే ఫ్లాగ్ we will consider it as a ending of a frame. థర్డ్ వచ్చే ఫ్లాగ్ will be considered as the beginning of the next frame, ending of the next frame, beginning of the frame, ending of the frame. Okay, two consecutive flags will indicate the data between the two flags will indicate it is a frame. Okay, at the beginning of the frame and ending of the frame we will use the word flag to indicate the flags. Clear? అయితే ఇక్కడ చిన్న ప్రాబ్లం ఉంది దీంట్లో కూడా. ఏంటంటే ఆల్రెడీ ఒరిజినల్ డేటాలోనే ఫ్లాగ్ అనే వర్డ్ ఉందనుకోండి, what will happen? The original data already contains the word flag. మన కింద రెండో ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చూస్తే, see this one. See this one. Original data is a flag b. Already the original data contains the delimiter flag. Original data లోనే ఫ్లాగ్ ఉంది. So we will have confusion. For example, ఇప్పుడు దీనికి బిగినింగ్ లో ఎండింగ్ లో కనుక మనం ఫ్లాగ్ యాడ్ చేసాం అనుకోండి, what will happen? Flag a, flag b, flag. That means before a we have flag, after a we have flag. It will consider that a as a separate frame, but actually a is not a separate frame. A flag b is the frame data. The data in the frame is a flag b, but since we are using the flag as a delimiter, when we place flag at the beginning and ending of that one, the data will become flag a, flag b, flag. Automatically what we understand is a is a separate one. A is a separate frame. So whenever the original data contains our delimiter, whatever the characters we are using as a delimiter, if the original data contains that delimiter, what we will do is to indicate it is the part of the data, we will use separate characters called escape characters to skip that one as a, to indicate it is not a delimiter. We use some separate characters to indicate it is a not a delimiter. In this example, I have used ESC characters as a indicator to indicate this flag is not a delimiter. It is a part of the data. Yeah. See, now see the points. See the point. We will here we are using the characters of flag as a data. ఎవరండి డిస్టర్బెన్స్ క్రియేట్ అవుతుందండి? Who is that one? మ్యూట్ అవ్వండి. గైస్ ఎవరు క్లాస్ వింటలేదండి, నాకు అర్థమైంది. నోబడీ ఈస్ షోయింగ్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్, సింప్లీ దే ఆర్ క్రాస్ టాకింగ్. నో ప్రాబ్లం అండి, వీ విల్ కంటిన్యూ ద క్లాస్ ఆన్ ద టుమారో. క్లాస్ రేపు కంటిన్యూ చేస్తున్నాం అండి. వితౌట్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ వీ కాంట్ గో ఆన్.